Behind the Boardroom segment is sponsored by Invesco. You should know what Invesco knows.
In our Behind the Boardroom segment, George Foreman isn't pulling any punches when it comes to promoting his lean, mean, fat-reducing grilling machine. Foreman was among the celebrities on hand today at the New York Stock Exchange to celebrate the listing of Sultan Incorporated. That's the appliance maker that's got a 50% stake in that griller. Sultan making the switch from the NASDAQ after seeing a six-fold jump in sales over just the past 5 years. Earlier, I spoke with Sultan CEO Leonard Dreimann and George Foreman. I asked the former boxer how he's adjusting to his new career as a corporate pitchman.
I got associated with the George Foreman lean, mean, fat-reducing grilling machine. It was about acquainting the consumer with a name that they knew, but then making sure they had one they could trust.
Leonard, now, oddly enough, George was supposedly interested in your product long before he knew you were the guy behind that product and your company was the company behind that product. Explain how you two hooked up.
That's very true. I mean, we had a mutual acquaintance who saw the product in one of our houseware shows, and he knew that George Foreman was looking for a great hamburger maker that he could endorse. So he sent a sample over to George, and George tried it out, and then later got to meet the company that had the sample to him.
Leonard, I notice now you're on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. You had been a NASDAQ issue. Why the change?
Well, as our company has grown and we feel that we can continue growing the way we have in the past, it is the most prestigious exchange in the world, so we believe it is best for our shareholders and give the pride of achievement to all of our team of people that work at Sultan and Toastmaster.
George, on to you, and since we're going remote, you can't hit me for this question, but let me ask you, you are a marketing partner now at Sultan, and I wonder whether, as reported, that's going to pay you a lot more than you ever earned in the ring. Is that true?
You know, the bottom line to me has always been, even in boxing, was the integrity part of it. You want to associate yourself, bottom line, this stuff's worked. And so that's been most important to me, to make sure that I maintain my success with a word that the product is quality, you get it home, it's going to work. That's bottom line to me.
Well, you know, a lot of people readily, endorse the product, George, but they're saying what makes the difference is that you're endorsing it and that people are almost buying this sight unseen simply because George Foreman likes it.
Yeah, you wanted to stay away from just endorsing something. You want to make sure that I became part of the product, to make sure that if I put my name on it, really, that when they took it home, it was going to be the same thing that they saw when they saw me in the ring, toe-to-toe to the end.
Leonard, you know, George Foreman is really one of the few boxers, either in or outside the ring, present or retired, who seems to have a marketing appeal. Evander Holyfield's tried it to little success. Mike Tyson tried it to virtually no success. Why does it seem to work with that fellow next to you?
Well, I mean, you saw him walking around the floor. I mean, the integrity and appeal that George has proven during his career and continues to do so. He's a great man, and he's a very nice man that deserves all of the success. And the public can relate to that. And whenever they see George and see the things that he does for the community back in Houston and the way he relates to people, no matter how great George has been, he is a man of the people. And that's why we're very proud to have him as a partner.
George, what do you think of some of the bad times your old friend Mike Tyson has come on?
Well, I think that, you know, the state of boxing has always been good. It's always been the platform of the good, bad, and the ugly. Some bad things are happening right now, but in the future there are going to be better things. Lennox Lewis, Evander Holyfield, there are a lot of great fighters, Roy Jones. So boxing is in good shape.
But not too long ago, you were scheduled to fight Larry Holmes. It was sort of a battle of the grandpas, and it never happened. Is it going to happen?
You know what, it would have been a great thing for boxing and myself to have two guys, 50, get into the ring and show the world that, hey, we're moving to the next millennium. The lean, mean, fat-reducing grilling machine is the way to keep us in shape. It would have been a great fight, but it's not going to happen.
Leonard, let me ask you about, you have a number of curious endorsers, from Hulk Hogan to Linda Evans. Why is that important to you, to get all this different mix of celebrities?
Well, these days, you know, it is not enough for the consumer to simply see a product on the shelf. There's so many self-service retailers around the country that the consumer needs to be educated about great products that we do have. So what better way than to find people that the consumer can relate to, that knows of their credibility, and this way can demonstrate a product that otherwise they don't get a chance to know what it does and how it works. And the final result is once in their hands, those consumers become advertisers for us themselves.
You beat Al Dunlap, the former Sunbeam products chief, at his own game here, and it's raised questions whether Sunbeam, which is battered and bruised, is ripe for a takeover. Have you been sniffing them out?
Well, I think Sunbeam, the people that are in charge of Sunbeam right now do have a very serious battle on their hand, because they had to take over a mess, and between all of the class action suits and the SEC investigations and the various financial things, performances that go with it, it's going to be hard for them to clean it up in the short term.
Well, Leonard, the talk was that they were actually talking to you, and that maybe at a fire sale price you'd buy their sick products.
Absolutely. We think Sunbeam is a great brand name. If there is a fire sale, we'd like to be the first in line.
So you have talked to them?
We have talked to them in the past, but not recently, no. They do have their hands full at the moment.
So is it an issue of price? Is that the only issue right now?
I think it's not just a matter of price. It is, there is a lot of people that are investors in Sunbeam, both lenders and actual shareholders, that they do feel that they want to get their act together a little bit better and straighten some of these things out.
You know, George, finally to you, and I don't know if you can hear me, but you had said that in order for athletes to be successful outside the ring or the field or the basketball court, they have to have a sense of humor. Why is that so important?
You got to make certain you laugh. I think that the greatest show of success is a smile on your face. I've often wondered why you see great athletes after winning something, this, that, or the other, and they seem to be sad and running away from the camera. I always thought if you're going to be on top, show it.
George, in the beginning, you didn't have a sense of humor. Now you do.
Well, you get a second chance. You're in a country where it's the home of the first, second, and even a third chance. And I've been given a second chance, and I decided, hey, I'm going to smile and laugh no matter what they say about me. I'm going to have a good time.
All right, George Foreman, who says, by the way, he likes cheeseburgers, so endorsing this product was not a big leap. And Leonard Dreimann, by the way, of Sultan.
I'm not going to lie about it, and I don't think he'll ever come back and whip a quality fighter. Never.
As for George, you can catch him at a grocery store near you. Look for him near the meatloaf.
Oh, my goodness.
Man, that's quicker than your left jab.
Yeah, it is.
With the champ in Hollywood, I'm John Ireland, KCAL 9 Sports.
Is he a beaut? George Foreman. Unbelievable.
If anybody could sell meatloaf,
That's
George
right.
Foreman
George
can.
is the man, absolutely.
Did he say, was that made out of meat? I mean, beef or
I assume
turkey?
it is.
Or, I mean,
I don't think it's hamburger helper. We'll try and find out.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's just lean meat.
All right.
Would be my guess.
It's the natural. All the other bases are covered. Chicken in
Sure.
all its varieties,
Meatloaf.
hamburgers, meatloaf.
That's right. And it makes a great sandwich, too, folks.
Yep.
He's something else.